What is it that you're driving at? What is it that feels undone or not understood or out of whack?
Well, sometimes I think, can I really come to that place? I mean, where I can do everything what I want to, because I have so many ideas and...
Yeah, but you don't need to do it all at once.
Yeah, but I do pretty many things all at once, and they work out, and people think, how is this possible?
Why are we having this conversation?
Yeah.
Right, we really want you to isolate what it is, and a lot of it is because of comparison to others, but...
Okay, the one strange question I have. I see people running around here in T-shirts, and they're comfortable in every kind of temperature. And in here I need 3 layers and then a jacket and another jacket to feel cozy. And I think, this is horrible. I want to be just fine with one T-shirt and not having to change all the time. And nobody could answer me why.
We will.
Why there's people who can do it. I mean...
Here's our important question to you. There are a couple of them here. Here's our question to you. Are you doing something inappropriate by not wearing the T-shirt? Are you bad in your not T-shirt wearing and they're good in their T-shirt wearing?
Kind of.
But here's the question. Are they demonstrating to you something that you prefer?
Yeah, I would like to do this and feel more free and more...
Here's what we want you to hear. So as you observe variety, and you come to a conclusion, oh, I have that preference, then that diversity has served you, because your preference has been launched into the vortex and your inner being is all over it. But when that same diversity is the club that you use to beat yourself about the head and neck, then that diversity isn't serving you because you're not letting it. It served you in that it helped you power your own intention and it helped you build your vortex. But the same comparison now is preventing you from being able to live what you put into your vortex. That was a really good conversation.
And I'm not sure if I got it. For me, it could be when I was 13, I had cancer, thyroid, and it came back when I was 30. And so I need to take pills in order to simulate what does my thyroid for me. And I read it that these people have problems with regulating their body temperature. And so I think, but I could do so many things and develop into so many roles and things I wanted to do. I want to do this as well.
When you get an opportunity to listen back to what we've already said,
I will.
It will help you. But we're going to repeat a little bit of it here, that the thing that trips more of you up than anything else is your comparison with others. Because nowhere in this equation of you being a deliberate creator, each of you, but of you being a deliberate creator, nowhere in that equation were you told that you have to do it like anybody else. And nowhere were you told that there was a way of doing it that was better than another way of doing it, and you better figure out the right way of doing it. But what you did understand when you came is that whatever you lived would cause you to discover within yourself preferences of what you want. And so you could ask a question, and a lot of humans would. Why would I create cancer? Why would I be one of the ones to get that? As if there's something wrong or inappropriate about doing that. Why would I be born this way? Or why would that one be born this way? And we say the words, but it takes a while for you to begin to find resonance with them. You wanted exposure to an experience that would cause you to launch a big desire. And so you launched the desire, but now don't argue against the desire. Don't pick a fight with the T-shirt wearers, and don't pick a fight with you because you're not wearing a T-shirt. Don't pick a fight with your current circumstances, and don't pick a fight with the differences that you see in other people, because every single fight that you pick is you arguing for limitations that keep you from a temperature regulated body that you want, that you've identified, that you want more than any other person in this room. You want it. You want it, and it has been given. How are you going to let it into your body? And it's not by noticing that you're not wearing a t-shirt. That's the train going the wrong way down the track. It's not by noticing that they are wearing a t-shirt. That's the train going the wrong way down the track. It's, does this feel a little better or a little worse or about the same? And so in this conversation that we just had, you now know, it's obvious to all of us, which things that you said that felt a little better and which things felt a little worse. Say some things here, now, we'll help you, that feel a little better about that. There's no big rush. I don't have to figure this out all at once. I might start with something easier. Clearly, I did some trending that I don't really understand. So this might be one of the things that I'll figure out in time, but I will figure it out. Meanwhile, trend this way down the track. Meanwhile, I do understand the law of attraction, and I do know that I have an inner being, and I do accept that any negative emotion or uneasiness or disease that I have is because I'm out of whack with what my inner being's perspective on exactly the same subject is. And I do trust that my inner being has a really profound, good perspective, and I do wish to align my perspective with my inner being, and I do know what picking a fight is. I do know what picking a fight is. I do know what being a little snarky is, or trying to get a response from somebody is, or trying to make a point, even if it's not a nice point. I do know what that means. So I don't need to pick a fight with this anymore. I can let the fight go. You're never going to let go of the desire, your desire for profound wellness. You're never going to let go of that. You're never going to let go of your desire for alignment and calibration and wholeness and authentic selfness. You're not ever going to let go of that. But what we do want you to let go of is the resistance that you're not quite there yet. Because that's what keeps you from going there. That's what keeps you from letting it in. It's simple, conceptually. It's not easy to practice, and here's why. The law of attraction is responding to you in real time all the time. The law of attraction is not an entity that says, well, he's still asking for trouble, but let's give him a break. There's no arbitrator like that. The law of attraction is an equal opportunity across the board responder of mutuality. And so there are two ways of knowing what you're creating. If you're improving your creation or making it worse. Two ways of knowing. One is by the way you feel. The other is by what's manifesting. Look at how much of your life is manifesting as you intend it to be. Accentuate that.
Yes, true. So I will tackle this one when I'm ready. I will
tackle it.
Relax.
Tackle it is what our friend did.
Okay.
Got up early, ran over flowers and small children, and made it to a front row seat. Even now she's protesting.
I think the thing is the balance between being relaxed and focusing on something. The balance between being easy about it and going in the direction.
Let's go back, because you said something earlier. We know we're taking some time here, but we're going to wrap this up, and we haven't forgotten about... We know you do. It's helpful to everyone.
Okay.
So, you talked about meditation and what some people are describing as their experience. And Esther, when she began receiving us, and she heard of other people speaking about their reception of non-physical, she said to us, Abraham, why are they lying? Because they were having different experiences than she was having. And so, in the same understanding, this is the reason that we teach meditation. We know that you've been experiencing life, knowing what you don't want, knowing what you do want, and that you put plenty in your vortex, and that the law of attraction, responding to your inner being's focus, has gathered the cooperative components. We know all of that to be the case. And so, as you are quieting your mind, what's going on over here becomes dominant. You stop the tug of war that is keeping you from what's over there. We know that it's easier to teach you to have no thought than it is to teach you to have a positive thought when you've been trending negatively on something for a while. We also know that it is perfectly normal and natural. You'd almost be weird if you were other than that, to be experiencing something really not wanted and not feel bad about it. Really. In other words, when you're living something that you don't want, you're gonna feel bad about it. And sometimes so bad about it that you can't even catch a little piece of the tail of feeling better about it. And so those like us that are sort of beating the drum of you gotta stop complaining and you gotta find better feeling thoughts, it's like blah, 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 because easy to say, not so easy to do. So we teach meditation in this way. If you can find something that is interesting to focus upon your breathing. Focus on the ticking of a clock. Esther plays an app on her phone that's an air conditioning that has some funny little noises in it that she listens for. Doesn't matter what it is. Something that is not so interesting that it makes your mind wander all over the place, but is interesting enough that you can focus your mind. And it may not come instantaneously, but as you focus your mind on something uninteresting, but you're focused, but it's not interesting, but you're focused, and it's not something you're worried about, but you're focused, and it's not something you really care about, but you're focused, and it's not something that's gone wrong, but you're focused, and it's not something that you need, but you're focused. So you're just focused in this sort of neutral place. What happens is, if you can manage that for as little as 68 seconds, and sometimes Esther starts over 3 or 4 times in meditation. Sometimes she's 5 minutes in before she's even able to quiet her mind. Sometimes 10. It depends on what's going on in her world. But as you quiet your mind, your vibration rises. And when your vibration rises, you close this gap. Now, once you close that gap, that's when people get visions. It's when movies come into their mind. That's when their creative work starts flowing. And that's a lot of what you're hearing. But that is not the reason that we teach meditation. We would rather see you in appreciation than in meditation, because in appreciation, there's no resistance either. But sometimes you have to be strong in your focus in order to quiet your mind. But we know that when you are able to quiet your mind and you show yourself that just once, then you know you can do it again and again and again and again. And what happens is it changes your vibrational trending, which changes your point of attraction, which changes what starts showing up in your experience, which then changes your expectation. But we don't want you to need it to be manifested in order to change your expectation, because that's what conditional living is. Can you see sort of the cycle that we're in? It's wonderful when things start going good and then you can just watch the good things that are coming and then just perpetuate more and more and more of them. That's wonderful. We want that to always be the case. But we want you to not need things to be good in order for you to not have resistance. And that's what the point of meditation is. It shows you that you can stop resistance no matter what's going on in your life experience. The now reality, if it has your attention, cannot change. The law of attraction will not let your now reality change if it has your undivided attention. So you got to find some way for it to not have your attention, for what's in the vortex to have your attention. And what's in the vortex is a t-shirt. What's in the vortex is feeling good. What's in the vortex is everything that so far you've figured out that you want. And so just take it easy. Just take it easy. Be nicer to yourself. Compare yourself to others, not at all. Is this a little better or a little worse? Was this conversation helpful to you? Do you feel a little clearer? Do you feel a little better or a little worse or about the same? Better. Now, we sort of went on and on and on with it. We did get carried away. This is what you're all trying to figure out. Calibration is what deliberate creation is. Calibration is how you accomplish your fortunes. It's how you find your lovers. It's how you bring your body into alignment and keep it there as long as you want to be in your body. It's how you make the world a better place, although that's not the dominant intention that we're wanting you to focus on, because you get all wacky about that and then you get involved in how people are responding to you. And when you start getting involved with how people are responding to you, then it gets more difficult to you. Got to care about how you feel, period, and do something about it. There you go. Enough?
Thank you.
This is a really good time for a segment of refreshment.